Hello friends, today is an exciting day because we're making rye bread. We're gonna start to make rye bread today. We're gonna finish it tomorrow. It's gonna be sourdough, and so it's gonna take 2 days. The recipe that I will be following today comes from this cookbook. This is Lisa Bass from the Farmhouse on Boone. I will link the cookbook down below. I believe the recipe is also on her website, so as long as I can find it, I will link that as well. And I just love her recipes. They're so easy to follow. Where is it? And I usually knead my bread doughs, but I believe that this one is a stretch and fold. So we have like a whole new method here today. Oh, here we go. So there we go. So I got that out. And of course, for rye bread, we need rye flour, and I'm going to be milling that fresh. So these are rye berries, and I'm going to mill these later today when I'm preparing the dough. So it's gonna be fun. First things first is to feed the sourdough starter, and she says that I can do that any which way. So I'm going to feed it all-purpose flour, which is what I usually do. So let's go ahead and do that. So whenever I'm not using my sourdough starter, I keep it in the refrigerator, which kind of keeps it on pause. And we need a whole cup of active starter today, so I'm going to bring out the large jar starter. You guys know that I have 2 starters. So this is the other one. So we're gonna use this one today because I need more room in the jar. I'm running low. It's time to refill up the jar. So this is all organic all-purpose flour. It's unbleached and it's milled from organic hard red wheat. That looks good. So this recipe calls for a full cup of active fed bubbly sourdough starter. So what I'm gonna do is feed this thing a cup-ish, like that, of the all-purpose flour here. Whatever I need to get out is what I put in terms of measurement. And I'm doing like cups and teaspoon measurements. It's not like in grams where I have to have a scale, which is part of the reason why I really like her recipes. It just is very simple for me. And if you're used to baking muffins and cakes and stuff, it just makes this whole process so much more simple in your mind. So I have the silicone stirring stick here or spatula, and now we're going to pour in some filtered water. I just got that from my refrigerator, and we go ahead and just stir it up. And then I add enough water until I get like a thick pancake batter consistency. It's a little too thick, so let's add in a little bit more water. Just giving that a nice stir, letting the flour absorb the water. I think that that's good. And now at this point, you just want to give it a really good stir because you want to incorporate a lot of air. Okay, that's where you're going to get the yeast and the bacteria. It's also on the flour itself, but it's also in the environment, in the air. And so that's why you really want to give it a good stir. Sometimes I'll even pick it up, and that helps me. Okay, cool. It's a nice little arm workout. And then I always just get the sides down a little bit because otherwise it'll make it a little bit more difficult to see how it's rising as it grows. Okay, here it is. Now we're going to allow it to do its thing. I'm just going to leave it here on my counter, room temperature, and allow it to grow and double in size. Essentially what's happening right now is that the yeast are feeding on the flour, producing carbon dioxide and ethanol. The carbon dioxide is what is going to allow it to have that rise and all those bubbles. And the bacteria, the lactobacilli bacteria, are feeding on the ethanol and producing lactic acid, which gives it that like sour, tangy flavor that's like characteristic for sourdough. And also it's gonna act as like a natural preservative for the starter as well as our bread as we keep going in the recipe. So anyways, here we go. I will say I am looking over the recipe. So It calls for bread flour, rye flour, and whole wheat flour. I don't have whole wheat flour. I do have hard white wheat berries, so I could mill that, or we could just do more rye. I don't know, we'll figure that out. See, I adjust as I go. And then I don't have molasses or caraway seeds, so I need to go to the grocery store to pick those up. So I'll bring you guys with me. Let's do it. To the store we go. I think I'm also going to get a few other things while I'm there. Because why not? So I'm gonna go to Sprouts just because it is the closest grocery store to me. Gotta grab the grocery bag, otherwise they charge me. It smells really good in here. Squirrel brain right now, but I just saw that they have date syrup. I didn't even know that existed. It's just dates in here. That's really cool. And it's right next to the maple syrup too, so I'm assuming you could use it like in place of maple syrup. I'm gonna try that one day. I found it, and apparently I only have one option to choose from, and this is it. So there we go. So it is organic, fair trade, unsulfured, and organic black strap molasses is the only ingredient. So good to go. That's gotta be enough for right now. Check. All right, I got the goods, and now I'm heading home, and I'm just gonna get some work done, and then once the starter is ready, I will check in with you guys and we'll make the dough. It is later on in the day. I just finished dinner, and now I am ready to put this dough together. Here is what the starter looks like. It did rise, and it was probably ready maybe like an hour or so ago, but I needed to eat dinner, so it's okay. We're gonna keep going. Sorry if you can hear the dishwasher, but I'm running it right now. So we're going to combine the starter and the water first. So we're gonna do 1 cup of the starter. Ooh, I need a spatula. No. Welcome to cooking in the kitchen with me. Water. Now I'm gonna stir that together, and I have a dough whisk to help me with this. Now it's time to grab the flour, so I'm gonna get some bread flour. And we need a cup of rye flour. And then we're gonna do a 1/2 cup of hard white wheat, because I don't own like whole wheat flour. Once I learned about what it was, I'm like, it's really not all that different from all purpose, and if I really want something that's going to be like a whole grain, I'm going to have to just mill it. Then we add in the flour. And number 2. Now we're going to add some salt. Now we're going to add in some molasses. Beautiful and thick. Oh, that looks so good. I greased this with a little bit of avocado oil so that it would be easier to get it out. And it worked. I do that with honey too. And then we need the caraway seeds. So that's everything. So now we are gonna mix this together. All right, so now we're just gonna allow this to rest for like 30 minutes. Little plot twist here. I am going to not stretch and fold this. I'm going to put it into my mixer and just cross my fingers that it comes out okay. Because there's like 6 stretch and folds every 15 minutes, and then for the first 3, and then every 30 minutes for the next 3, and it's almost like 9 o'clock. I'm tired, I gotta work tomorrow, so that's the whole reason why I have the Bosch mixer. So I'm just gonna throw that in there. Plus it's a very dense dough because of the freshly milled flour. I am perfectly okay with the Bosch mixer doing all the work. Which is the reason why I love it so much. I am definitely going rogue here. I am not gonna fold it and shape it the way it's suggested. I'm just gonna do what I normally do because it's simple and it's easy, and maybe when I have some more time in my life, I will try it the other way. But for right now, we're gonna do this. First impressions is that the Bosch mixer definitely got it to be a bit softer and more like stretchy. And I ran it for like 25 minutes until I got to the window pane test, which is basically where you can like hold it and have it stretch out without it breaking. And that's how you know that like the gluten is developed. Second thing is that it's not very like, you know, soft and elastic. It's a bit more sturdy. But anyways, we're going to hope for the best and keep going. And maybe it'll work. And if it doesn't, then I will learn from this experience and then try again. I'm gonna cover it and then we will check it in the morning. It is the next day, so good morning. And I woke up to a very good surprise. Here is my dough. It rose, and look at all of these beautiful bubbles. So satisfying. I really had my doubts last night. I kind of started to panic. I'm going to make a sandwich loaf bread. That's what I usually do. I'm the most comfortable with it, so that's what we're gonna do today. So we're just gonna roll that up, which takes like 2 seconds to do. It's so easy. So just flour your work surface. Okay, get your hands with the flour. And get your dough out of the bowl. There we go. So it definitely feels pretty hearty. I'm so curious about how this is gonna taste. So we're just going to work it into a rectangle. Then we're gonna roll it up. So you roll, use your palm to kind of press down here, tuck in the sides, and then roll again. Yeah, this is definitely a hearty bread. And then we're gonna put it seam side down, right into the baking pan. And then I'm just gonna cover it and we're gonna let it proof for a couple of hours, essentially until it doubles in size. It is a few hours later and the bread has doubled in size. So this is what it looks like. I had it sitting right here on the stove underneath the microwave light, just to kind of help it. I find that to be very useful. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake this off. Since I did not use any oil in the dough, I'm just gonna spray it with this avocado oil spray, just to help it brown up a bit. So I am preheating the oven to 375. I usually cook my loaf breads for about 45 minutes. So that's what I plan on doing for this, but I will keep an eye out on it just to make sure. The bread is done. It came out a little while ago. I have been allowing it to cool ever since, and now we get to slice it up. Ooh, looks good. Ooh, that looks good. What does it smell like? It smells like rye bread. Okay, this is exciting. Oh, it looks so good. I think I cooked it for a total of 33 minutes. I put some butter on it. Now we're gonna taste it. It definitely looks like a hearty bread. So here we go. so good. It's soft, a little chewy, definitely dense and firm, but not in like a bad way. I really like it. It has substance. Perfect flavor. Oh my gosh, it's reminding me of my childhood. This would make the best bread for like a ham sandwich. Or roast beef. Okay, I have ideas now. You know what? This was a success. Got a little nerve-wracking in the middle, but all in all, worked out good. Love it. The grain mill, the Bosch mixer, and the berries that I use, so the rye berries and the wheat berries, are all going to be linked down below. I will say I am so grateful for that mixer. Last night, I was like, there's no way I'm doing stretch and folds right now. And stretch and folds are just not my jam. I tend not to do it. I prefer to knead the dough. And by I say me knead the dough, I mean the Bosch mixer knead the dough. That thing has literally helped me make sourdough bread, homemade sourdough bread happen each week, and other sourdough projects as well. I'm really busy. I just don't have a ton of time or the patience, honestly, to just sit there for like 2 hours to continuously come back periodically to do stretch and folds. It seems like a project that just doesn't end. I love just putting all of the ingredients in the Bosch mixer, let it run, and then while it's running, I get to go for a walk, do some chores, I get to get ready for something. Like, I get to do other things while that's doing it for me, and it has just been a total lifesaver. I don't know if I really would have been able to make sourdough bread happen consistently if I did not have that. So I'm so grateful for that thing. Highly recommend getting one if you don't have one. And then I really do love the nutritional benefits of like milling your own flour fresh. It's so easy to do at home, and it just literally gives you a product, a loaf of bread that you would not be able to buy at the grocery store. And you may not even be able to get it at like a local bakery either, just depending on like what they're doing and everything. And plus they can be expensive. You have to like figure out where they are and get there and stuff. So making bread at home is just something that I really enjoy doing, and having these tools help me make it healthy and delicious and just easier for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it a little comical. And also realize that like you can do this even if you feel like you're messing it all up. Keep going. You never know, the end result might be delicious. And it worked out really well. I hope that you subscribe for more healthy meal ideas and recipes and simple ways on making healthy eating happen. And if you are looking for more nourishing meal ideas, then check out this playlist right here, and I'll see you over there.